C.R.P.H.A. And apparently, it looks like we have a number of things going on. See, we've got now Kamala Harris, put her little liberal ass in the circle of trying to run for president, even though um, with the fact that even with the two other women, one that's already a politician and one that's a senator of, I believe it's Minnesota or Michigan or something, right? That that she, this female senator of the state of Michigan or Minnesota, is wanting to put her little feminine behind in the circle for president. When I put in a video, is America truly ready for a female president? No response. So generally, that tells me that nobody, not anybody in the US of A, is truly ready for a female president. And now we also have Gavin Newsom. Again, doing something that's generally un American and negatively will affect the National Guard of within the state of California. And he is doing something as evil and underhanded and un-American as Jerry Brown by taking thousands, if millions of dollars out of the National Guard just so he thinks he can get his way. So they can't go over to help with the border wall on the southern part of the state. And Gavin Newsom doesn't realize that the more he does things like that, equal as un-American and as underhanded and illogical as Jerry Brown, he will be in the pit of hell. No governor is allowed to do things that he thinks he can get away with because his party will doesn't like the current president, for example. Gavin Newsom needs to realize that if he does anything to jeopardize the safety and security of the city of the state and its citizens, especially when it comes to the border wall, he will be more than responsible for his negative actions. He will be more than responsible for every little bullshit thing he thinks he can come up with to rectify the situation. Every liberal thinks that they can rectify things to try to make things better. Yet they don't. Yet one, it's already proven that Gavin Newsom doesn't know how to govern a state, and it's already been known for several years that the two parties are not willing to get along. But the fact of it is that Gavin Newsom needs to either retract what he says and do not even attempt to take any money out of any part of our military within the state, especially of California, or the more he does illogical, stupid, un-American things like that, and thinks he knows how to govern a state when obviously he doesn't, I will do one of many things. I will put out the aspect of what I did when it came to Jerry Brown. The fact that Gavin Newsom will be impeached. So Gavin Newsom better either get along with the president and make sure that the wall's built Or the more he does things stupid, the more that Gavin Newsom does things that's un-American and illogical, and that doesn't show any caring or heartfelt thing that he cares that shows that he cares about the citizens' safety of the citizens of California's safety, especially our youth's safety, and make sure the wall's built as strong as fuck, essentially. Or either he has a choice of stepping down or get impeached, or he will be going into the pits of hell, because anything that a governor does, anything that a senator does, anything that a mayor does that's illogical and sinful and un-American, in the spiritual sense, that person will go, his soul will drain out of him, essentially, and go into the pits of hell. And when the human being that does that action, any more of the illogical, un-American, sinful actions, it doesn't matter what it is, he will eventually find himself into the pits of hell. Gavin Newsom doesn't give a damn about the American people. Gavin Newsom doesn't give a damn about the citizens of California, even for the ones that voted for him. If he's going to attempt to take billions of dollars, if millions of dollars out of the National Guard, so they don't help with the border wall, and yet if he does that, he can he will be more than ridiculed, more than getting many more than attempts of attacks, and he will find that he will not be able to do anything to make the citizens of California happy if he's going to risk the California citizens' safety and security on any level and for any reason. And if Gavin Newsom wants to talk to me and try to convince me that he's doing something right when he won't be able to, but he can sure as hell give it a try. I'm willing to listen as an advocate and as a humanitarian and as a person who's lived in the state of California for a number of years. A large number of years. But the one thing is, Gavin needs to know, in by taking money out of the National Guard to try to prevent them from helping with the border wall is not a positive logical solution. I can understand he may not like the president, he may not respect the president, but guess what though? There are many citizens in the state of California that do like and respect and support the president. I being one of them. There's several others. Trump is doing what's right for the state of California and the United States of America. And if liberals cannot see that, they are so fucking blindsided it's not funny. And I've said that before. And it rings true every time. And with the negative statements that Kamala Harris has said about President Trump, the negative things that every other liberal female and male dumbass and shall we say bitch said that's negative and untrue about the president, they are so fucking blindsided and brain dead. They should be living out here and only in the citizen aspect, not in the high political office or any level of political office. Therefore, those those liberal idiots in political office should either step down or they will be forced down by a number of Trump supporters will get a petition to get every one of them out of office. And believe me, I will be one of them to sign that petition. I care about every American person in this country and in the state of California. Obviously, the liberals are showing more and more, even in Washington, D.C., they can care less what happens to the American people. They can care less what happens to the state of California citizens. They can care less about what happens to the youth of this country and of California, obviously. They don't care if illegals come across the border and harm us, nearly kill us, if not totally more than hospitalize us to the points to where we're dead and gone. If you ask them that, they will fucking deny it, though. I guarantee. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I care about people, but I believe the people would want this, or I believe the people would want that." They don't know what the people want because they're not really taking the time to know what people that support the president, for example, want and believe in. No governor is supposed to be doing shit that goes against the country, goes against the safety and security of the state, goes against the Constitution or anything else for that matter. Because if they do, they can make it harder for them to even be back to be reelected, essentially. And also, it makes it harder for their party, being the Liberal Party, will have a one hell of a tough time to beat Trump because the more the stupid shit they do and the stupid, illogical, sinful, negative remarks that they say about the current president, for example, it will damage their chances in every way possible and every way imaginable. So, with the fact that I said that is is America truly ready for a female president? I put that video up not too long ago. No response. So essentially, with the fact that with the fact that I didn't get no, America's not ready for a female president. Oh yes, they are, or anything related to that matter. You know. So essentially, I had not one of either side. So essentially, you can easily put it as America is not ready. America will not be ready for a while, for quite some time. So the senator of Michigan or Minnesota and Kamala Harris and the little liberal bitch that's already a politician with the boy type hair and the glasses that's already a politician in her own right, that's been a politician since Bush. She needs to realize the same thing. Not one person in America is ready for a female president. If Hillary didn't make it, and thank Heavenly Father she did not make it, then obviously America is not ready for a female president. Because one, just like Kamala Harris, not even the East Coast Michigan or Minnesota senator will know what the current deficit is for this country. They can make up all numbers all they want, but they won't know for a fact. And when they get into, if they were ever to get into the office, they wouldn't know how to handle it. Even by their supporting cabinet, they wouldn't be able to handle it either. Because women only know how to spend shit, sadly enough. As Tom Likas says, all they know how to do is spend things. They don't know what's really going on in the political genre. Even the ones that are in political offices, they don't know what and why things are going the way they're going. They only see what's on a piece of paper, really. And I'm not against women's rights and all that crap, but the basic fact is it's true. I haven't seen one woman outside the newscasters, one woman even be open to talk about anything political. I've seen most of them talk about the stars in Hollywood, all the all the bad things that are happening in other countries, all the you know various large number of shit, and including oh all sorts of different seasonal clothing options. Going to the mall. I can name a large number of things. Trust me on that. But the basic fact is that America is truly not ready. And like I said, America may not be ready until 2030, possibly, or even 2029. But the one thing is, right now, the liberals must know this as well. Even the liberal voters must know this as well. Not one American person is ready for and wanting a female for president. I, as a supporter for the ERA in what was a feminist movement in the 1970s. In fact, that feminist movement made more sense than the current feminist movement. Hell, it even made more sense than the damn Me Too movement. And when the news media mentioned was like interviewing a number of people from them that was correlated with the Me Too movement. One woman said, "If anybody's not a feminist, they should come become a feminist." There's no logic in that. There's no realistic aspect in that either, because it's been proven. Tom Likas has proven it more than once. The MGTOW movement has proven it more than once. Um, and I can prove it is more than once as well. That every time a woman tries to use the Me Too movement ideology or the current feminist movement ideology and actions, it makes it harder for the woman to keep a man. It makes it harder for a woman to keep a strong, supportive connection and stable relationship with a man, especially when it comes to raising a family. In all aspects, the you know how I mentioned on one of my videos I mentioned a matriarchal society. Um, in what was, according to what I understand from watching Home Improvement, of when the character Wilson mentioned, it was that when there was a female-dominated society, which was known as the matriarchal society. And outside the ERA, though, okay, outside the ERA, it seems that the movement, the feminist movement, and the Me Too movement in this era is wanting it to be back that way. Instead of it being a male-dominated society, they want it to be a female-dominated society. And yet the Me Too movement woman that one of the news media interviewed, they are supposedly supposed to be all connected with women and um and and they respect men and all this other shit. That's a load of shit. All they're doing is wanting men to bow down to them. All they want is men to be circumvent to the woman. And all women, all those feminist Me Too movement little bitches want are full control over the relationship instead of it being 50-50. As I said, they want it to be 60-40, 80-20, 90-10, where the woman has the higher percentage and the male has the lower percentage. In MGTOW sense, that would be shown as the woman wants the guy to be a simp, a mangina, blue pill, a weak fuck. And yet it's been proven even in the Tom Likas show that that women don't want a a simp, a blue pill, a mangina, a circumvented man that doesn't have any confidence and strength and whatnot in him. That's why they go for the assholes. That's why women go for the assholes. They think they can try to change him. And then right when they do or succeed in doing a percentage of it, then they hop over and they monkey branch over to another one and see if they can do the same thing. They're not really happy at all. But now picture this though. Okay, picture that every woman on this planet is able to make every man a mangina, a blue pill, a weak idiot, a circumvented little idiot. Okay, and say they went through every part of the population outside and of course not our youth, but outside the population, all the way around the population of men, essentially, right? And say every woman does it, right? Where would they be able to monkey branch over to that from that point? Huh? They would have messed it up for themselves, and yet do they realize that? No. But yet at the same time, though, women want a sensitive man, a caring man, a man that will do so many things. Their little Prince Charming. I can understand Cinderella when you're reading from a young age, but you cannot use the same terminology when it comes to relationships and dating because it's not really helpful to the female gender. If you can't accept a man for who and how he is, and how strong and confident emotionally and psychologically that he is, and you think you can make him better than he is, then you don't really respect him for who he is. You don't respect him for how he is. You don't respect him in general as being a person. But yet you don't see men trying to say they're going to try to change the woman. Now, do you? But yet this feminist movement, the Me Too movement, think they can do that and get away with it. No, you can't. It's either get with reality, disassemble the Me Too movement and the current feminist movement as well, and get with reality. Do the best you can in relationships with them if you're already with men, especially because the ERA for one has already given women an opportunity to be in the working world. They've already given women the right in the aspect of independence and self assurance, and also the return the ability for women to vote. And also, with all that, the ERA has already done most of the things that the current feminist movement has tried to do. But the one thing is, the current feminist movement, as I said, is trying to do something way beyond illogical standards and standpoints, way beyond the aspect of actual, real, true reality. And so, and yet women are falling into this shit. Even young women in universities and city and state colleges are falling in for that crap. And they think that it would help them to be a better person. No. And they think it'll help them be able to get a man to actually truly listen to them. No. And if they think men will respect them by going in and by joining into the feminist movement and known as the Me Too and current feminist movement, no. The basic fact is, if a woman cannot respect herself without having to go into the feminist movement or the Me Too movement, and if she can't better herself without joining movements that are so illogical as those, then she needs professional help. So does that woman that they talked to on about the Me Too movement of saying, oh, if anybody's not a feminist, they should come and be a feminist. It's so exciting, come on, that woman's brain dead. By getting back onto politics, is that, as I said in the beginning of this video, is that women are not going to be presidents until at least 2029 or 2020 or 2030, essentially, because America is not truly ready for a female president. It could be even beyond 2030 that when America's truly ready for a female president. Well, of course, that will possibly be when women actually know that when women, especially in politics, actually know that the current the current deficit and various other things, and also, as I mentioned before on one of my other videos, is that the other countries that don't have that belief when it comes to women, they would laugh and think that we're weak. They would think that that the U.S. of A. has lost their minds. On top of that that they've gone so low that the U.S. has gone so low that they have to bow down to a female. That's the old world thinking. Granted, yes, but the one thing is, no woman knows how to orchestrate anything when it comes to defense, and when it comes to actually having to go to war if we have to, and when we have no woman will be able to convince any other male leader in any country on this planet to not go to war. This is not a democratic society. Hell, this is not a Republican society either. But the one thing is, this society will not be torn down by feminist actions, by stupid fucking illogical actions like what Gavin Newsom is doing currently, and by simply giving in by allowing a woman to be president. I'm not saying women can't do, as I've said, I believe that women can do just as much as men, but currently, not no one in the U.S. is ready to have a female president. So the women that have put themselves in the circle for president are going to be so more than sorely disappointed. Because they will not be able to make it through. And Gavin Newsom, you want to take money out of the state's National Guard, you are a complete idiot, un-American jackass. You do anything else that's illogical, and if you pull through with that action of taking money out of the National Guard, you will be dealt with. Anything that's un-American, anything that will mm, um, essentially exhibit more of a risk to and against the American people, including the people in the state of California, that can be grounds for impeachment. You do anything that bankrupts the state, like Jerry Brown did, tried to do with that damn speed train, that's the grounds of impeachment. You do things what Jerry Brown when he came to BSing the citizens of California when he came to the school funding. Therefore, he changed it to the high tax plan by using a legislative loophole. That could be also the grounds of impeachment. So, Gavin Newsom, you better back away from that action of the National Guard, and you better not block any actions when it comes to the safety and security of the citizens and youth of California, especially when it comes to the border wall. You either get along, find ways to get along with the president and work with the president, the current president, or step down or get impeached. And those Trump supporters will make sure it happens too. I being one of them. Gavin Newsom, I used to respect you when you were mayor of Frisco till you got until you broke down like a simp, mangina, weakling, idiot when it came to the LBGT thing. You didn't have to do anything to regulate or anything within the within the city and county of San Francisco. It would have been taken care of in a legal way without you putting your 2 cents in when you did. And it's not going to help you while you're in the governor seat of California, Gavin. So you better listen to what I say because I'm not BSing, and you know I'm not BSing. You want a short-lived opportunity to be in the seat of governor, state governor. You better back away from the negative actions that will negatively affect the safety and security of the state of California and the citizens and our youth. And you better make sure the wall's built strong. So that means you will allow the National Guard and many other of our military, if needed, to make sure that wall's built. And you will get along with the Republican president, the conservative Republican president, whether you like to or not. If you didn't want to, then you should not have put yourself into the circle of going in for governor. And I'm going to say to the Me Too movement, you know that there's going to be eventually many women wanting to raise a family. Even the females within universities, and even the one that was interviewed by one of the news media, is both local and otherwise. But the one thing is that not one Me Too movement female member, not one feminist movement female member of the current feminist movement, especially, will ever land a relationship with a man, because no man is going to where they are bowing down to the woman by being circumvented by the woman, where the guy has to waste his finances on the woman. This is not the 1950s any longer, ladies, where men paid for practically every little thing for women. Mm-mm. That's why the ERA made it to where the women of today, especially, can be independent, live on their own, get into the working world, and make their own money, and survive on their own. But the one thing is, Tom Likas is right about one thing though too. And as you can tell, I'm a MGTOW member and a Tom Likas fan and a Tom Likas 101 student. I should be graduated at this point because I'm standing strong by saying all this. Tom Likas says that women need men more than they will ever admit. Even the ones that say, "Oh, I don't need a man. I don't need a man." Oh, really? How would you pay for the things that women want, but they're not willing to use their own income for, their own aspect of finances for, without going broke? The fact of it is that when women get a guy to be circumvented by them, by get a man to be circumvented by the woman, essentially, it goes to the points to where, even with the fact that he may have reached, according to even the visual aspects of the woman may think, oh, he's already reached where he wants to go. He's already reached his hopes and dreams and wants and what have you, when it comes to career and various other things, right? No. Just like every other human being, even if they've reached where they want to go in the career path, even if they're actually leading themselves to that aspect, especially to where they can be more than secure, both financially and otherwise, does not give the woman the right to try to make the guy turn his attention on her hopes and dreams, on her wants and needs, on celebrating her. If the woman is not willing to celebrate the man and do anything positive, even verbally, towards the man, then guess what? You ain't gonna get shit from the man, women. Those who are married already may think that they've already got all that, and they're gonna keep on getting that. Um, that may be so, but it won't last for very long. Because as I've said many times before in one of my videos, not really, I don't think it's really the C.R.P.H.A videos, but it stands to reason that the court system sides with a woman, depending on various things, and what have you, and also if and at times a man is benefited by the court. So basically, with that being, the divorce rate still climbs in this country. Reality and its logic is right there. Gavin Newsom, if you are truly an American, truly a caring person, and you truly want what's best for this country and the state of California, and you're not really sure of what to do, talk to me. I can tell you exactly because I've lived in the state from the 1970s on through. I'm not going to say what part of the 70s, but the basic fact is I know what this state needs and what the American people of the state of California want and would like and deserve and what they do not. So, Gavin, back away from that action when it comes to the National Guard. And you better get along and work with the president. Take down the sanctuary city and state thing. And this would be, of course, the state. Take down the sanctuary city and state status, which is unconstitutional. That status is unconstitutional, so you better take it down and reestablish the Prop 39 for school funding in the state of California, which means, of course, you'd have to put legislation through to take down the high tax plan. That way, once the high tax plan, as I mentioned in my other C.R.P.H.A video, is that is that without the high tax plan, more employment will be entering the state of California, which basically would be increasing the on the work population, which basically would decrease the unemployment and it would gradually decrease the the people who would be and are still looking for work or stable employment. That is, my father was a Marine. I am his son, and I know what's best. Be that, of course, that's why I'm advocating, and that's why I've been advocating since 2004. And yes, I am. When I first started, I was married, but now I'm not. But of course, that's my choice. But at the same time, is that there's only a reason I'm not going to discuss on this video. So because it's my personal thing. And I will say though, if a woman wanted to be with me, I'd be putting her through some major amounts of tests because women always try to test the guy too. Anyway, so basically, it would be an even thing on that one as well. And if the feminist movement don't see that women need to be 50-50 with a man, it can't be 60-40 or 80-20, right? Then those biological clocks will be ticking even louder every second of every day of every time within their entire life. And therefore, they will be single for life. They will have cats and dogs and birds and fishes and everything in their houses. Not children, not a husband, none of that crap. And I'm telling you, feminist idiots and Me Too movement bitches, the truth and reality of the whole thing. And especially when I'm telling the females that are in the circle for running for president, I'm telling you the truth as well. America's not truly ready currently, even for a female president. I, as an advocate, respect the women, but I do not go along with liberal policies, liberal democratic policies, and I will not fall for that crap, and I will not support that crap. You demean the president that's currently in the White House, you demean America and the Constitution. Thereby, you are un American. To President Donald Trump, I salute you for doing what you're doing. Keep doing the job, and do know, President Donald Trump, I will be voting for you in for the 2020 election. So Trump for 2020. And see, I know Trump knows what America needs, but the liberals don't care what America needs. The liberals don't give a damn what the American people deserve and want. They'll try to tell you differently. Even the female little democratic little bitches will try to say differently as well, as even as they try to demean the president. But they don't really give a damn. The liberals don't really give a damn. And I'm telling everybody, every American person that's watching this video, every action that they've proclaimed, they even attempted to even try to convince the American people of, they don't give a damn what happens to you if you even if you live or die, or even if their little policies get you in deep shit legally. They won't support your actions. They won't support you in any way. They don't care if you become homeless. As Michael Jackson, the late great Michael Jackson's song says, they don't care about us. The liberals don't care about the American people. The liberals don't give a damn about this country. The liberals don't care if we live or die, or if we're killed by any illegal that comes across that border, or any border for that matter. So, with that, it being the truth, and every liberal voter should know I'm telling the truth. And if you don't want to believe me, then those liberal voters will find out the hard way. The liberal supporters will find out the hard way. And as Heavenly Father is my witness, will the liberal voters find out the hard way by having something happen to them in their life, and whether if they live long or not. Because of the liberal politicians' bullshit actions and policies and movements and various other things. But the ones that will be protected are people who support and defend and protect the Constitution, the president, the current president, that is, and also the freedom, equal rights of every American on this planet, in this country, and in the state of California, and in every other state across the United States of America. And if any liberal party idiot or bitch wanted to talk to me, hey, come on. I'm willing to talk to you to see what you have to say, what you think the American people want or need, or what this country would be better for. But the basic fact is, it cannot connect with socialism. It cannot connect with anything that's against the Constitution. Because if you even attempt to say that it's not against the Constitution, you obviously um, failed in the when it comes to the Constitution in your high schools and universities. If you ever gone to universities, I'm sure a number of them haven't. Maybe even if you failed it, and when it comes to your state schools, in your state and city colleges. I'm a strong-willed person, that's for damn sure. No woman would be able to break me down, even in a relationship or even in the beginning of a relationship. I know the women in my past have tried to. Jill tried to a number of times. Jill Yeaman, aka Jill Dixon, and she failed. And of course, she cheated on me like her mother has done to other men. Essentially, she essentially copied the same track record almost. And of course, Rose, aka Alyssa Benton, did the same thing, or at least they even attempted to change me. She didn't change me one iota. I just acted. I can easily act as if the woman has convinced me on certain things. I'm really good at that. Not all men can do that, sadly. And I'm being honest. So, any liberal politician want to talk to me? When and if you see me out there, even if you're in your own little personal car or limousine, and you see me walk in any part of anywhere, pull over and talk to me. You can even treat me to lunch or something if you want to show a certain gesture to start with as you talk to me and see if you can convince me otherwise. Gavin Newsom, I know won't, but he can sure as hell try. The basic fact is, I respect every person as a human being, and seeing that every person on this planet is a child of Heavenly Father. But the basic fact is, liberal policies that Gavin Newsom is implementing, especially with the current trying to take hundreds of billions of dollars out of the National Guard and going against the president on top of that, which basically is un-American. He will not get away with it. In fact, I implore that every American that has families in the National Guard and in every military level to start a petition to make sure that Gavin Newsom does not do anything against any part of the military, and makes sure that and to where he makes sure that wall is built for the safety and security for the American people within the state of California to start with, and our youth. And then if he continues the negative, illogical, un-American crap, if Gavin Newsom does continue that un-American crap, then I will implore every American to put a petition to where Gavin Newsom is impeached. And yes, Gavin Newsom, it can happen. It has happened in the beginning days of California, even though they may have shot people to show that they're serious. But we don't do that now, do we? We get them to the points to where they're legally also within the state and U.S. Constitution that they will be out of office in indefinitely. So Gavin Newsom, you do anything that negatively would and gradually would negatively affect the American people within the state of California, and if you keep continuously show your un-American values and actions of going against the president, then believe me, you will be dealt with. This is not a threat. This is a promise. I don't do things in harm. I don't harm people. I tell them straight out, and I make it to where it will be happening in every logical, legal manner in every action. So Gavin Newsom and every liberal idiot out there, you want to talk to me? I welcome it. But the basic fact is, you will find that I can convince you. That every Trump supporter can convince you. Because the Trump supporters are more logical than liberal idiot voters who believe in socialism. Liberal voters believe in socialism, tearing the current constitution apart. Liberal voters believe in in a democratic democracy that isn't really favorable for anybody but the damn liberal politician and the liberal party. But the liberal voters don't know that, do they? They don't. They want to ignore that aspect, and so do, of course, so do the politicians that are in the liberal democratic office. I support Trump, and I will always support Trump. I support every Republican in there that doesn't do anything that would do harm to the youth, and and any politician that doesn't do harm to the American people in any action, political or otherwise, or even outside the political genre. I will always stand for freedom, equality, and rights for every American person, even our youth. And I will always stand by that and the American flag of what Old Glory stands for. And I will always stand strong and firm side by side with the president that we have currently, Donald J. Trump, and the Constitution of this country. Thereby, I will always stand firm with the founding fathers of this country and George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and many others. May Heavenly Father bless you all, and do know I do stay strong on what I have said and will ever say, and also I stand strong with what I've said currently. Live long and prosper. And Gavin Newsom, you will not live long and prosper if you continue going against the president and doing illogical shit especially when it comes to the border wall. Because if you continue doing that, you will be taught a lesson. Thereby, there's going to be more than hellish payback. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.